Meeting to order.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't help myself. That, for everybody who doesn't know, that's my 7-year-old, almost 8-year-old son, Thomas. Thank you for calling the meeting to order, and I guess I can officially do that as well. Thank you all for being here for our school board meeting tonight. And tonight we will start our meeting with an invocation by Mr. Daniel Rivera from the Jerusalem House of Prayer. We will have our Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. John Boyd. We will have our national anthem sung by the faculty and staff from District and Osceola County Schools, Mr. Stephen Brooks from Denjon, Mr. Daniel Harvey from Harmony, Frey Peralta, did I say that right, from Tehopa Galaga, Andy Bajoric. Did I do? Oh, wow, I'm doing good tonight. He is our music K-12 resource specialist, and Stephen Reed from Neptune, who recently transitioned from Hickory Tree. They wanted me to say that. So they will be performing our national anthem tonight. Our mission statement will be read by Miss Sarah Graber, and translation services will be provided by Miss Valerie Martinez. Before I ask you to stand, I would ask you to silence all of your cell phones or any electronic devices that you have. Look, all the school board's grabbing theirs as well. To make sure. And once we've done that, please rise, and we'll turn it over to Mr. Rivera.
Thank you. Mr. Boo, if you would. You follow the R, you'll be good. Rivera. Will you join me in prayer, please? Father, we come before you this evening seeking your face and wisdom, that you will give wisdom to our leaders as they, oh Lord, lead us in our community, the endeavors that we place upon them so that they can lead this county and our children, our staff, our educators. Father, we ask for your wisdom, for we live in perilous times, but we need your help, that we may work together as one, as a people, as a community, to come together, to find solutions, that we can come together at the table of love and have communication. With your wisdom and discernment, O Lord, we ask that you help us and our leaders. We thank you for them. And now, Lord, in these things we ask in your Son's name, and thanking you for your blessings. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Boyd?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. Our faculty and staff band, do they have a name, a title?
Osceola Faculty Brass Quintet.
There we, thank you. The Osceola Faculty Brass Quintet. Nice, I like that. That's good. Gentlemen. You may be seated. Mrs. Graver. We also, let me just say, we always hear from our very talented students across the district, so thank you for bringing us our talented staff. Thank you, sir.
The mission statement of the Osceola School District is inspiring all learners to reach their highest potential as responsible, productive citizens.
Thank you, Ms. Graber. Senora Martinez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here today to provide interpretation services for you tonight. Buenas tardes. Estoy aquí para proveer servicios de interpretación. Gracias.
Gracias, Senora Martinez.
De nada.
I will turn now to positive comments. Now, we have a tradition, and please welcome to the dais for the first time, Ms. Terry Castillo. She is your new school board member from District 1. Just so you know, we have a long tradition of long positive comments from District 1. Certainly, I'm going to turn to you first, and no pressure.
No, I'm not gonna. We're gonna break from tradition. And I'm just really excited to be here. I formally want to thank everybody in the district who's helped me during the last 10 weeks to get acquainted with my new position, and of course all my fellow school board members. Superintendent Pace, thank you so much for being so welcoming and helping me along. I still have a lot to learn, but I am confident that with your help and of course help of the community, I will be a great representative. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Castillo. Mr. Soto.
Yeah, briefly, we just had 3 board members swearing in today, 2 for re-election. Congratulations,
Thank you, Mr. Soto.
Mr. Booth and Mr. Thacker. You know, you earned your re-election unopposed, and I mean
Appreciate that.
I think that that folks know that you're doing the best that you can, and you do a great job. And Ms. Castillo, welcome. I will say that, you know, I look forward to your involvement. I could vouch for these folks, that they will do everything possible to make you successful and help whatever you need. And I hope that you enjoy your time here. I'll do my best on my part to make that happen. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Soto. Mr. Thacker.
I would just like to welcome Ms. Castillo as well. And as we start a new chapter for this board, so very glad you're here. Welcome. And Thomas, thank you for calling the meeting to order. I had an experience like that when I was a little kid, and my dad was chairing the meeting. I think he was mayor of Kissimmee. And I was probably about your age, and my mom was somewhere, so I ended up having to sit in the meeting, and I was not behaving near as good as you. And I'll never forget my dad going like that at me when I was in the meeting. And I finally got the message, and I sat down.
It was okay to strike your child at that time, too.
No, he didn't let it go. I got the message.
Thank you, Mr. Thacker. Mr. Weisshire.
I just want to also echo what Mr. Soto had shared. Congratulations, Ms. Castillo. Looking forward to working with you. Mr. Booth, Mr. Thacker, congratulations on your reelection. Thomas, I want you to know that you are actually a far better chairman than your dad has ever dreamed of being. And you're welcome back here as my favorite booth anytime.
Thank you, Mr. Weisshire. Jessica? Do you have any positive comments? Anything good happened this week? I didn't mean to put you on the spot if you didn't prepare anything.
I actually
I did, yeah.
I'm sure most of the people in here know, and my principal's over there. But I would like to thank everybody in their participation of last week of what occurred at Tehopekalaiga. Like, I know, like, all my friends and all the students I've talked to, they were very impressed with the way everything was handled and dealt with, and we're very glad that, like, security is like #1 for you guys, and it was just a reminder of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, you have an awesome principal out there and awesome staff too, and so good job, guys. I would echo those comments. So thank you, Jessica. Dr. Pace. So I've got just a couple tonight. I did want to thank all the folks out at Hickory Tree Elementary for inviting me out to their Veterans Day celebration. It's a tradition out there. The whole school, I think they honored and individually honored about 75 to 80 veterans and the whole school comes out and they perform, and it's a fantastic an event, and I thank them for having me out. I wanted to congratulate the Harmony High School football team. My dad and I got to go out and watch the game. You know, a couple big plays and some mistakes they made, but anyhow, it was a great game. 13-6, they lost. Had every chance to win, but congratulations on a good season. The 2-loss season, And congratulations to Coach Simon and his staff for doing such a wonderful job in really building a high-quality program out there. So go Longhorns. I wanted to thank Dr. Reinhardt for joining me today. Actually, I let her do all the work, and I just said thank you. But she did a great job of presenting our High Impact Awards to all the teachers, and I wanted to touch on that for a minute because the state names High Impact teachers, and this board said, you know, what if you're not in that grade level? What if you're not one of those folks that fits into the state rules on the High Impact? Let's find something we can do for ourselves, and I want to applaud you, Dr. Pace, and your team for finding a way to identify some of these other folks within our district, and I know there's many more that are really, really exceptional teachers, and even though, you know, it wasn't a whole lot, I do think they appreciated us being out there today to say thank you. I know the kids appreciated it. They loved it, and so thank you, Dr. Reinhardt, and thank you to the staff for putting all that together. I told for those of you who don't know, Sunday was my birthday. Monday was your birthday, Dr. Pace, just to share that with everybody. So my daughters bought me a gift, and I said, well, that's the dumbest gift that I've ever received. What is that? They said, Dad, those are clout goggles. And they said, I bet you won't wear them at the school board meeting. So I said, here we go. I have no idea what these things are, but they told me that it says now that I have more clout than you. Do you know what these are? See, look, she's laughing. She knows. My daughters are laughing. I guess if you're between the ages of about 12 and 18, you probably know what these are. So anyway, they dared me, and I did it, and they're laughing, so there you go.
Mr. Booth, I know exactly what they are.
What's that?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So we looked it up. We looked it up online, and it said they're bringing this back because Kurt Cobain wore these. I'm like, my daughters, you don't even know who Kurt Cobain. I know who Kurt Cobain is. But anyway, you dared me. I did it. There's your clout goggles. All right, and I will finish with this because I'm talking too much. Tonight will be my last meeting as the chairman of the school board here. I'll still be on the board. I was just reelected, but and I'll say it right now. If nominated, I will decline. I certainly don't expect to be nominated, but it has been an honor and a privilege, not just to serve on this board, but to also serve as a chairman, serving as a board member when Mr. Weishauer was a chairman, when Mr. Thacker was a chairman, Mr. Soto. Thank you all for your displaying that leadership and showing me how to run some great meetings. I know we have all our own styles, and I appreciate it. It truly has been an honor to be the chairman of this school board. I don't think it's ever anything that I could have dreamed of, but certainly to be here, you know, it's been fantastic. So with my family here, I get to say that. Thank you to the community for not just believing in me, but believing in this entire board. We do have a great board, and I welcome Ms. Castillo, and I know she's going to be an outstanding member of this board as well. I expect her to be. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be your chairman, and I look forward to continue serving with you. So thank you. And that's it. I'm going to be quiet.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
Before you move on, we do the reorganization of the board later this evening. Many of you will not be here for that portion of the meeting. So I'd ask you to indulge us in thanking Mr. Booth for being an exceptional chairman throughout this year. Thank you for your leadership, your dedication, and for really modeling the way for our community about what a chairman really looks like. You've done an exceptional job, and we're honored that you've done it. So I'd ask all of us to thank Mr. Booth.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Dr. Pace?
Good evening, board members. I am honored tonight to bring forward a couple of administrative recommendations. If I could ask Dr. Balgaman to come to the podium, please. Board, as I shared with you a few weeks ago, we learned that Dr. Vasquez has decided that she wants to spend a little bit more time with her family and her running, so she's going to retire in January. And it's such an important job to serve as our Executive Director of Charter and Choice, but I am absolutely confident in Dr. Carmen's recommendation. During her career, she's been a teacher at Evans High School, an adjunct professor at Nova Southeastern and Ashford University, a district instructional trainer and coach for multilingual student education services for Orange County Public Schools, assistant principal at Inglewood Elementary, assistant principal at Citrus Elementary, principal at Tildenville Elementary School in Winter Garden, master principal at Molly Ray and Pine Hills Elementary Schools, and currently serves as the executive area director in the School Transformation Office for Orange County Public Schools. She received her bachelor's degree in foreign language education from the University of Central Florida, a master's degree in TESOL from the University of Central Florida, and also Nova Southeastern University. And she received her doctorate of education and organizational leadership with a specialization in educational leadership at Nova Southeastern. And she brings just a tremendously rich experience as a very successful turnaround principal and leader in the transformation office that I know is going to significantly impact the great work that we're doing in Charter and Choice. So, Board, I firmly recommend her.
Second.
So I have a motion for approval by Mr. Thacker, a second by Mr. Weishaupt. Board, any discussion?
Some quick comments. First of all, welcome and congratulations. As Dr. Pace mentioned, there's important work happening in this space. I do want to also recognize Dr. Vasquez, who does an exceptional job and has for so many years, has built and led a department that has become so important and so significant in our school district. And I'm looking forward to you picking up where she's leaving off and continuing the great legacy of leadership in that department and what it represents in our community.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yep. And board members, anybody else?
I'd just like, you've got some really big shoes to fill. Good luck to you. I know you're going to do an outstanding job, but Dr. Vasquez was a leader in the state. When people had questions from everywhere, who'd they call? Called Osceola School District, so we know you'll step up with that, do a great job for us, but we like being a leader. We like having people there that are respected and looked up to everywhere in the community.
Yeah.
Excuse me, in the charter school community. So wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And I would say that just to kind of go along with what you gentlemen said, that anywhere you would go in the state, people will remind you, man, you guys have an awesome lady down there in Osceola County. That's exactly what they would say, and we'd say, we know. She is great. So, Dr. Vasquez, thank you for your service, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Board? Anybody?
Yeah, I would say the same thing, but that's enough pressure for the three of you. You have some big shoes to fill, but you also have the opportunity to be in a system and administration that's going to give you all the tools to succeed. And you have board members that are always willing to listen to you, provide you with feedback whenever you need, share some ideas. We're here to stand behind you 100% of the way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Boards, with that, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Carmen also has family with her tonight.
I just want to take a quick 45 seconds to
Please,
say
please do.
thank you to our amazing leader, Dr. Pace. Thank you so very much for this appointment, to all of our board members, to Dr. Scott Fritz, to Jane Respis. I had an opportunity of meeting you at Harvard, Mr. Allen, and Dr. Reinhardt. You were part of my interviewing committee. I know that Dr. Vasquez has done an amazing job. I also know that this is a great county with amazing leaders, and I feel truly, truly blessed and honored to be here. I can promise and assure you that I will do my 110%. I'm going to go beyond 100% each and every day to ensure that we fulfill the needs of our parents, students, and families in this community. That I assure you. In the audience, I would like to introduce you to my other half. He's here. Tom.
Please embarrass him. Make him stand up.
Please stand, Tom. My daughter, Usha, couldn't be here tonight, but I'm sure that you will all meet her in the near future. Once again, thank you for your vote, and thank you for your confidence in me. I will not let you down. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations.
And now, board members, for your consideration and approval, I have a couple of transfers. If I could ask Mr. Talimko to come to the podium, please. Board members, as you know, Mr. Talimko has been an amazing principal for us at Lakeview Elementary School and currently at Narcoossee Middle School. And it is my pleasure to recommend him to move into the leadership role to open our newest middle school, Harmony Middle School, as our planning principal in January. So, board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Weishaupt, second by Mr. Soto. Board, any discussion? I have some. So
Aren't you glad?
I do just want to say that it has really been a privilege to work with Mr. Telemko out at Narcoossee. So in a way, it's a little bit of sadness that you're leaving one of our district schools, or my District 5 schools, but you're staying right in District 5, which is where we want to keep you. It's the best district in the county. So no, but in all seriousness, you've done a fantastic job out at Narcoossee Elementary. I couldn't be happier with this selection, or Narcoossee Middle School. I couldn't be happier with this. I introduced you to my daughter. Learning is first, right? But softball is pretty close second. So we want to have a really good softball team next year out of Harmony Middle School. No, and I'll seriously thank you for being a great principal, and thank you for taking on, I know, what is a big task of opening up a new school. So thank you, Mr. Telemko.
Thank you.
Anybody?
Yeah, just when Dr. Pace mentioned that she wanted to recommend you, I said, really? Him? Is he up to it? I'm kidding. Complete confidence in you. You're an amazing human being, a great leader, and you're going to do great things at that school as you've done everywhere you've been, and I'm proud of you, and I'm looking forward to your continued work.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Board, any more discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything, Mr. Telemko? The floor is yours.
I thank you for your confidence, leadership team, board members, Dr. Pace. Thank you so much. I do have family members here.
Please embarrass them.
Mrs. Telemko and Bailey Telemko, my son, and I got some Narcoossee people here too. So
I see that.
want to thank them for coming. So
Good.
again, thank you for your support, and it's going to be an honor. I mean, being a planning principal is not many people get to do that. So I want to thank you for everything you've done for me.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
And now if I could invite Mr. Gary Wheaton to come to the podium, please. Board members, obviously, Mr. Telemko leaves big shoes to fill at Narcoossee Middle School, and Mr. Whedon has been an incredibly passionate leader at Kissimmee Middle School for the past few years. He started at Celebration when it was Celebration K-12, Celebration High School as an assistant principal, became the principal at Kissimmee Middle, and has truly given it his heart, his soul, his passion, and done a great job there. We know he will bring that same passion and work to Narcoossee Middle School, and we wanted to give them this opportunity to grow into leadership. So, Board, I highly recommend him for transfer from principal of Kissimmee Middle to principal at Narcoossee, effective in January.
Motion to approve.
I had a motion by Mr. Weishauer, a second by Mr. Thacker. Board, any discussion?
Yeah, I don't want to miss the opportunity. And it's those of you that don't know, anytime these transfers or appointments are happening, the superintendent has conversations with the board in advance. And we get an opportunity to kind of ask questions. And again, you're just another one of those leaders that the superintendent had the utmost confidence in. And so it's really my honor to support this tonight and to continue to see you shine and excel in our district to do great things. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Glad to see you coming over to District 5. Look forward to working with you. Board.
I just want to point out there are 5 districts.
That's what I said.
Not just one called number 5.
Well, I'm just saying. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Again, thank you to the board, leadership, Dr. Pace. Obviously, going into a school that has a tradition of excellence like Narcoossee, it shows a lot of means a lot to me that you have the confidence in me to carry that tradition of excellence on with the students and staff over there. I want to say thank you, though, real quick to Kissimmee Middle School family. This has been a rough day for me. We've done a lot of hard work over there, so that's a good, hard-working group of teachers and staff. I have my 2 assistant principals, Jane Mabra and Eugenia Rolando, here tonight to support me. Oh, and as well as Mackenzie Bertram, I have to mention her too, who's been a great help over there in administration. So thank you for that, and look forward to moving over and meeting everybody at Narcoossee.
Great.
Great.
Thank
Good
you,
luck
sir.
to you.
Good luck.
That's all I have.
That's all you have. Thank you, Dr. Pace. So, Board, this brings us to the time in our meeting that we are open for public comment. If you are here to make a public comment and you have not yet filled out one of these yellow forms that are on the back table right there, you are more than welcome to do so at this moment. I have 2 in front of me right now that we will go through. But certainly, we will not limit you if you have not filled it out yet. So please, if you could, just grab one from the back and bring it up front here to Ms. Tanya, the board clerk. So first, I have Ms. April Jackson.
April Jackson, 722 Mabbott Street, Kissimmee, Florida, President of Osceola County Education Association. And I just want to address two things quickly. When you were at the facilities workshop, you talked about surveys, and Dr. Pace knows periodically OCEA does a survey as well that we collect. We send it to NEA. They tally the results, and then I share them with her prior to anyone else getting access to them. And we're planning to do that again in January if NEA sends the surveys to us in time. We're still waiting on last year's surveys. Second of all, I want to thank you for visiting schools, Ricky. When I first took office 8 years ago, we had meetings set up throughout the district with each zone where I would pick a location such as Catfish Place in St. Cloud. We'd get the side room, and the school board members would meet with various members and community members and have discussions about what needs to happen for education. And I've talked to Terry, and she's willing to meet a group from West Side because they want to meet with school board members, so I thought I'd take that opportunity. But if any of you would like me to do that for you again, I do pay for the appetizers for anyone that comes. And we have a good, open, honest discussion. And my rule for my members is if they come with a gripe or a concern, they also have to have a solution to bring forward to the school board members. It just can't be a gripe session. They have to actually think about what they want to say and try and help come up with a solution. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. I appreciate it. I will say I have not discussed my school visits up here on the dais because I did not want them to be, and I don't mind that you did, because I didn't want them to be viewed as political in nature, because they really are just me going out to each school and trying to engage the staff and see what we can do better here at the school district. And they've been great. Mr. Soto, Mr. Thacker have joined me at several of them, so I appreciate that. And I've got 2 more to do, 1 more tomorrow and then 1 later, or early December out at Tohopa-Galaga, sorry, Mr. Thacker. And that'll wrap up for me, unless I go and help Mr. Thacker at his, which I probably will. But I have enjoyed it, and Ms. Jackson, I'll be more than happy to do that with you and your group. All right. Mr. Inwood.
Good evening. I am here this evening to do something that makes me very, very happy. My name is Erwin Inwood, New Start Housing Partners Incorporated, 2340 North Orange Blossom Trail. What I would like to do before I do anything is read our mission statement. We're a nonprofit organization that we basically just started just before the summertime.
Thank you.
Our mission, New Start Housing Partners Incorporated, is a nonprofit organization that enhances the lives of families through the act of coming together to strengthen communities. Our goal is to impact the lives of individuals and families who are low income by providing the opportunity of an affordable place they can call a home of their own and build hope for a better community. We give the opportunity to provide individuals and families with a new start by developing financial stability through affordable housing. What I would like to do before I say anything else is introduce some of my board members and some of our employees that are here this evening. I'll start right here.
Thank you. I'm Madeline Santangelo. I'm Secretary of the Board of Directors. Been playing here for a couple years now. It's been interesting.
Lou Bonifero, and I'm the treasurer of the organization.
I'm Garcia. I'm the bookkeeper.
Very important person.
I bet, yes.
Kanisha Leggett, and I'm the actual store manager.
And does a great job. What we basically do is we have a nonprofit store. It's like a thrift store. We get donations. We send our trucks out to pick up the donations, and we sell them through our store. This way we develop some money so that we can give back to the community. Our goal is to help families in the community. I've been a teacher in Osceola County schools now for 23 years, strictly in the Poinciana area, basically. I've grown up in the Poinciana area as far as I feel. I'm a little older. And I see the need, and I continue to see the need. So by starting this nonprofit, we hope to help the need. What we've done tonight is we have decided to donate money to two schools that are very big in that Poinciana area, that Poinciana community. One is Poinciana High School, of course, and one is Liberty High School. Those are two high schools that basically live out of the Poinciana community, the Poinciana area. We get a lot of donations from the Solivita area, so we figured let's put the money back in the area where we get most of our donations from. We want to expand, of course, we want to be throughout all of Kissimmee, but again, we're in our infancy, we're a new organization. So what we came up with is, due to the fact Thanksgiving is around the corner, we have a lot of families. I know a lot of students that the families do not have the funding to have a Thanksgiving sit-down dinner. So what we had decided as a board to come together is to award both schools, Poinciana High School and Liberty High School, each $1,000 so they can help the families and supply the food so that all families can have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And this is just the beginning of what we want to do. We want to get more involved with the Osceola School District and help more families and do more things that will help our students in our school. So with that said, I would like to have Mr. Schwartz and Dr. Piccolo please come up.
You don't have to.
And Carmen, would you unroll the first one, please?
All right.
Not to say anything, but our banners were made by my wife at Liberty High School. And we try with both schools. We do Skills USA, and we always try to combine both schools together so that we're partners. We're all partners, and we all work together. So the first award will go to Poinciana High School. I wonder how that worked out. Mr. Schwartz?
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, sir.
Awesome.
There's your envelope. My pleasure. Thank you. Okay.
Kelvin asked me to look at his. It's upside down. Tanya's not gonna help you.
That's supposed to be mine, isn't it?
She's not listening.
I'm using. No? Do we share?
Ricky's is the big.
Oh, so that's his?
We could share.
No, I'm.
If you ever
Okay,
say something,
the next one.
you can press that button. And it'll light up right here. I don't answer it if I don't want to. Obviously, I didn't.
Yeah, I know it's past 5 o'clock.
Just do us.
You want me to?
Sure.
Okay, Dr. Piccolo. Here's your check, sir. Thank you. For Liberty High School.
I get you.
Great job, thank y'all.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
We will leave some extra brochures outside on the table, outside on the table.
Thank you guys very much. So, Board, at this time, we will recess our regularly scheduled meeting, and we will call to order our workshop. Mr. John Boyd.
Good evening, school board members. We have two new proposed school board rules, a revision to one, and then a reformat of the student progression plan.
You're good, Mr. Boyd.
All right, I was just waiting until it wasn't as
Oh,
noisy.
you're fine. Go ahead.
All right. For new proposed school board rule 3.61, the title is Religious Expression in Public Schools. Because of the sensitive nature of the two new proposed school board rules, I'm going to read verbatim my summary. Implements requirements within Section 1002.206 Florida statutes, quote, Florida Student and School Personnel Religious Liberties Act, end quote. The Department of Education shall develop a model policy regarding a limited public forum and voluntary expression of religious viewpoints by students and school personnel in public schools. Each district school board shall adopt and implement the department's model policy. The proposed school board rule draft that you have in your packet is that model policy. Proposed new school board rule 5.622, medical marijuana. Implements requirements within sections 381.986, medical use of marijuana, and 1006.062, Clause 8, administration of medication and provision of medical services by district school board personnel, Florida statutes. Quote, each district school board shall adopt a policy and a procedure for allowing a student who is a qualified patient as defined in Section 381.986 to use marijuana obtained pursuant to that section. Such policy and procedures shall ensure access by the qualified patient, identify how the marijuana will be received, accounted for, and stored, and establish processes to prevent access by other students and school personnel whose access would be unnecessary for the implementation of the policy. The draft that you have before you is one that came to us at the recommendation of Mr. Kruppenbacher. It's based on the Broward School Board policy that they have implemented there, and it is reformatted in our district format. The first school board rule, the only one with a proposed revision that is a current school board rule, is 2.95, wellness program. This revises the policy language within that rule in order to comply with changes in related state and federal law and to reflect the required criteria of the related Florida Department of Education model wellness policy, unless school district procedural precedent maintains a higher standard. The remainder of these changes that are proposed are the student progression plan, and it's reformatted from 3 documents into one. Combines all 3 former student progression plans, elementary, middle, and high school, into one single student progression plan. It removes duplicated language for conciseness and retains language unique to each level for consistency. It revises the policy document to reflect recent changes in state law and to provide consistency with school district procedural precedent and current research-based best practice. It revises the policy document to add the appropriate state law citations in each and every section. The first change is on pages 28 to 29. It revises the policy language to include the requirements within Section 1000.03 function, mission, and goals of the Florida K-20 education system regarding student performance and Florida's K-20 education priorities. On page 32, it revises the language to address new requirements within Section 1007.2616, Computer Science and Technology Instruction, Florida statutes, regarding access for middle school and high school students to computer science courses. On page 32 also, it revises the language to address new requirements within Section 1003.4203, Digital Materials, CAPE Digital Tool Certificates, and Technical Assistance, Florida statutes, regarding the opportunity for elementary school and middle school students to earn Florida Career and Professional Education Act, acronym CAPE, Digital Tool Certificates. On page 70, there is a revision that provides language to address new state requirements within Section 1011.62, Funds for Operation of Schools, regarding the lowest 300 schools and required teacher certification. On page 81, there's a revision to reflect the required criteria within Section 1008.22, Clause 3C2, Student Assessment Program for Public Schools, Florida statutes, regarding the statewide standardized assessment results waiver for exceptional student education ESE students. Lastly, there is a revision on page 104 that revises the policy language to clarify that the school district percent point values for high school level courses apply for such courses taken by middle school students. And that's the summary of changes proposed. At this time, we're not asking for any change or any action on the change. We'll bring these back to you next month for the public hearing and request action at that time.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Boyd. Appreciate it. Board, any questions for Mr. Boyd?
Yeah, John, before you sit, just one quick question on Rule 3.61. All of that language is verbatim out of the model provision
Yes, sir.
that's been provided?
Yes, sir. Sure is.
I like it. It's
Verbatim.
well drafted. There was one portion of it I had a little bit of question on, nothing major, so I'll circle back with you. I just want to make sure it was.
Sure. No problem. All right.
And then Mr. Kruppenbacher, on the, let me get the roll number. 5.622, the medical marijuana. This was originally a policy that was adopted in Broward County, you said, and then you review were there any changes you had to make to their policy, or is this pretty much verbatim?
We didn't really pick up anything we wanted to change. We're trying to stay, my rule of thumb, when you're in these areas that are about to be litigated, trying to stay with the fact. So if somebody's going to challenge you on an issue like that, everybody's in it together. And so it was pretty reasonable. John and I looked at it and said, let's go with this. So if somebody comes knocking on our door, we have allies that other doors are going to get knocked on.
Sure. Thank you.
Can Broward County count to 5.662, Frank?
Certain people can, Broward County.
Sorry, I had to get that in there. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mr.
welcome.
Boyd. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Board, we will now adjourn our public workshop and reconvene. Is that correct, Ms. Tanya? Reconvene our regular meeting. Board, that will bring us to our agenda modifications and our consent agenda. Mr. Soto.
Just add something for new business.
Okay. Sorry, not tonight. No, go ahead. Under board member comments or new business?
New business.
New business, Mr. Soto?
Yes.
You don't want to say what it is, just Mr. Soto?
Oh, not really. I want to bring it up then.
Okay. So, Ms. Tanya, would you put that under Mr. Soto?
Yeah.
We're going to be voting on him.
Miscellaneous
In
topic.
his business, miscellaneous topic. Mr. Thacker? Mr. Weisauer?
No mysteries here.
I have none. Board, what is your pleasure on the
Move for approval of
the
the
agenda?
agenda with the addition of additional comments by Mr. Soto.
Mysterious comments.
Mysterious
By Mr. Soto.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Thacker, a second by Mr. Weisauer. Board, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0. Board, that brings us to our information items. You do have your monthly business advisory meeting minutes in the packet. And so and no one's here to speak on that. So we will bring us to the regular item number 15. Board, what is your pleasure?
I move for approval of item 15.01.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Thacker, a second by Mr. Weisauer for item 15.01. Board, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Board, I will remind you on number 16, facilities, that you can approve both items if you so choose by approving 16.03.
Make a motion to approve 16.03 as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Soto for 16.03, a second by Mr. Weisauer. Board, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. That brings us to our attorney's comments. Mr. Kruppenbacher.
Nothing to report other than if I don't see any of you, you all have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding us of all that, because I forgot in all the hubbub that we won't be around here again until Thanksgiving. So yes, thank you, Mr. Kruppenbacher. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving as well. Dr. Pace.
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Mr. Soto.
Man, I was expecting some people to leave.
Motion to deny.
Second. No, I want this board to consider something. I knew that when you went to the board conference room, you saw there the very famous shirt worn by the illustrious Mr. Wheeler, board member for 16 years in Osceola County. Who knows if that's ever going to be repeated? And he meant for that to be worn by one of you guys.
No, he did not. I meant to put it in a shadow box and hang it up in there.
We're working on that.
And so that's what I just wanted to see if that suggestion is favorable to with just a flag with a little thing, Mr. Wheeler's shirt.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's
that's,
okay?
that's why I asked him to bring it in so that we could kind of honor the shirt. He even wore it on his last meeting.
The,
This is the American flag
where
shirt.
would,
Yes,
yeah,
the American
where would it be displayed? It would be,
Not out front at all, somewhere
The
deep.
discussion had been in the school board office, but that is entirely a
I
board
think that's
decision.
good.
I'm good with that.
Maybe on special occasions we bring it out. How about that?
Veterans Day.
well, it's a nice shirt.
I'm cutting you off, Mr. Sale. Okay, board, that brings us to our actual new business. As you know, board, there has been I guess it was a recent change in state law that does not allow us to do the regular reorganization as we would do normally, as we've done forever in the front of our meeting. It does not take effect until after November 20th. So we will do that. Oh, go ahead.
You will, when you get to the board reorg.
We're right here. We're here.
You need to recess.
Yep, and turn it over to Deborah.
Needs to re-adjourn the meeting as chair of the meeting.
And so, under that legal advice,
With a recommendation from legal, don't give the gavel back.
I'm not. Dr. Pace, take it over.
Okay. Florida Statute 1001.371 requires the school board to reorganize by electing a chair and vice chair on the third Tuesday after the first Monday in November of each year, and the superintendent acts as chair during that portion of the meeting. Additionally, Florida Statute Section 1010.07 requires school board members to be adequately bonded. Each board member is currently bonded as required by statute. The floor is now open for nominations for chairman of the school board of Osceola County.
I nominate Clarence Thacker to be the next chairman of the Osceola County School Board.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Booth with a second by Mr. Weishire to nominate Clarence Thacker as the chairman of the school board of Osceola County. Do we have any further nominations? Hearing no further nominations, the nominations are closed. I will call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations, Mr. Thacker, as our school board chair.
Meetings will not be nearly as entertaining as they have been, but thank you very much, board. I
You want to wear the goggles, the clout goggles? Yeah.
Me now.
We have a little bit more work to do. Okay. The floor is now open for Osceola County Vice Chair.
Motion for Mr. Soto.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Thacker and a second by Mr. Weishire to nominate Kelvin Soto as the Vice Chair of the School Board of Osceola County. Any further nominations? Hearing no further nominations, the nominations are closed. I will call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 by board action. Mr. Kelvin Soto is the Vice Chairman of the school board. Congratulations, Mr. Soto.
I'm going to explain to you the hesitation is that we really had to consider Thomas the Stoic for that because I would have picked him for chair. He did a great job.
We have a little bit more business to do.
Thank you, board.
We've got to get all our committees out of the way.
Okay, a tentative schedule of board meeting times and dates has been placed at your seat. This schedule adheres to the required regular meeting on the first Tuesday of the month, with the special meeting on the third Tuesday of the month, and various workshop dates have been scheduled based on historical calendar data and other discussion in recent days by the board. Additional workshops may be added as requested by the board. Expulsion dates are noted on the day immediately following the board meetings at 1 p.m. Do we have a motion from the board to accept the calendar as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Weishire, second by Mr. Booth, to schedule regular meetings on the first and third Tuesday of each month. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Chairman Thacker has such declared the times and dates for the regular meetings set as the first and third Tuesday of each month. Meetings will begin at 5:30 p.m.
Where's our list? Oh, there it is.
A list of school board committee assignments has also been placed at your seats. At this time, the board will choose new committee assignments for the 2018-19 school year. Next to each committee, you will see a number which indicates how many members will need to be assigned for each category. Would you like to go through the list in its entirety tonight and assign new members, accept it as presented, or are there just specific ones that you want to change?
Board, do you want to, I mean,
I would ask if there's any, anywhere that a board member's serving now that they don't wish to serve going forward, or if there's any change that they want. I'm perfectly fine with staying where I've been and doing what I've been doing.
so I will withdraw my name from the Four Corners Charter Board.
I'd like to join
You
Tim
don't
on
have
that
to.
board.
You would like to join? Well, Tim's not on there. It's, are you on the board?
He wants to stay there.
I would
You want to stay? Okay. So, Mr. Soto, and I guarantee you won't have any objection from Mr. Thacker.
Well, actually,
Yes, the
wait a
chairperson
minute.
has to serve.
Yeah, the chair is.
He may want to turn it over, though, to Mr. Weisshire or Mr. Soto.
I don't think that's allowable under the charter contract.
He can't?
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means that it'll
I
be,
think it has to be a District 1 person.
Oh, that's true. That's
which, no, she's automatically on. Terry is.
Thacker, Chair, Castillo, and then whoever the alternative or the third would be. I'm offering to stay on that.
All right. That's correct. No, that's correct.
So you're good then?
Yes,
It would
yes,
not be an on? Okay.
The other, there are a couple of other positions where Mr. Wheeler is identified, Central Florida School Board Coalition. Currently, Mr. Thacker is the vice chair in line to be the chair. And also Kissimmee Osceola Chamber, the National Affiliate Advocacy Network, and also the state as a backup to Mr. Weisshire on the state legislative liaison.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ms. Castillo wants to step into those roles or if we want to do something else.
Couple quick things I would note. On the state legislative liaison, I should probably come out of that as incoming president of that organization and allow another board member to have an additional voice and seat in that conversation.
That is the FSBA Legislative Liaison.
Correct.
I was
I thought it was,
by the FSBA already.
yeah, I did.
You are on that committee.
Legislative liaison.
What do we have the nomination?
Yeah, you can talk. Yeah, hold on.
That was for the board of directors.
It says Wheeler still. Said that for 16 years.
Yeah.
Uh,
So just for clarification.
I got confused.
I'm on the executive committee at FSBA because my position, Mr. Thacker serves on the board of directors for FSBA. Mr. Wheeler and I served as a legislative liaison, and Mr. Wheeler served as an alternative in case I wasn't able to make it.
Okay.
I'm saying I should probably come off as the liaison.
Yep.
We should probably have another Osceola board member fill that role and have somebody else serve as the alternate instead of Mr. Wheeler, obviously.
If I'm allowed to speak, I would
You are?
like
Go
to
ahead.
take over that if that's possible, unless anybody else wants it.
I'm fine. Yep.
So do we have an alternate? Ms. Castillo will be the state legislative liaison for FSBA. Do we have an alternate?
Kelvin,
Yes, sir.
That's
you're the alternate?
Sure.
Okay, good.
The only other one, superintendent, is historically, I've done the Kissimmee Osceola Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Wheeler specifically asked for that last year, so I yielded that. I would like to take that position back going forward.
Is that okay?
I have no problem with that. And I would like to remain on, if the board is okay with it, I'd like to remain on the board of the St. Cloud Chamber.
Any other changes?
Mr. Weisshire, you're good with staying on the Education Foundation Board?
I am, unless somebody else wants it. I'm okay with that, too.
I'm fine.
Calvin, you're good with Council on Aging, District Technology? Do you say yes to that?
I'm fine on Council of Aging.
Mm-hmm.
On District Technology, I'd like someone else to take a shot at that.
Ms. Castillo?
Yes, please.
I wondered what was going on over there. Okay, so Ms. Castillo is taking over.
Okay, so what I have for changes, as you look down the list,
Mm-hmm.
District Technology would be Ms. Castillo. Four Corners Board becomes Mr. Thacker as the chair, Ms. Castillo as the District 1 representative, and Mr. Weisshire remains. Kissimmee Osceola Chamber becomes Mr. Weisshire. And the FSBA State Legislative Liaison is Ms. Castillo with Mr. Soto as the alternate, and everything else remains the same.
Did we discuss the Education Foundation? Mr. Weisshire, did you want to remain?
Yeah, I said I would happy to, but
Okay.
if you wanted it, I'm also okay. I'm fine with yielding that if you prefer that position.
Yes.
Want it?
You don't get this ambitious 4 years in, you know.
No.
That's a lot of meetings you just made for yourself.
At 7 in the morning.
I'm glad you're excited about serving.
Me too.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, just on the Central Florida School Board Coalition, what are we doing there?
Yeah,
I
who's
know
gonna-
Thacker's on.
Yeah. Who wants to replace Jay?
Central Florida School Board.
Which one are we talking about? This?
Central Florida
Oh,
Coalition.
the coalition. Jay was the man. I don't mind going on that unless you want to, Mr.
No. You can
And
take
I'll go on that. But wait, what is it? Is it 2 people?
No, you.
Or just your alternate, or is there 2 people?
No, there's
from
2
our-
people.
Yeah.
Because
I've been to the meetings before.
I think there's 2 because I serve as chair next year.
Right. As many of you who want to go are
Yes, you
welcome
can
to
all
attend
go.
I actually
as
think-
voting members of that group.
Correct, and that's actually just an alternate position.
That's what I thought. We select a board member, which is Mr. Thacker, and that's an alternate. I will be the alternate.
But all of you are welcome to attend and be a voting member any Monday of the month that you want to.
Yes, right. We just have to replace Mr. Wheeler on the National Affiliate Advocacy Network.
It's an NSBA office.
I'll take that because of the work I'll do with them anyway.
That'll be good.
Okay.
And we're still going to have Mr. Thacker on the Health Committee?
Makes sense. And then the last position is Mr. Kruppenbacher. You're responsible for making us breakfast every morning. That's on the bottom of the list if you didn't see it.
You're going to be losing a lot of weight.
And Mr. Chair, I believe that concludes my responsibilities, and
Ask for clarification though, because I still
Yes.
have blanks. The affirmative action is going to stay Mr. Soto?
Yes. We're not even asking. Yes.
And for the value tax adjustment, is that staying?
Yes.
Weiss, Iron, Soto?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
the vocational advisory board, the last one, Mr. Thacker?
Yes.
Have you ever had?
Repeat, what is the state legislation?
That is the FSBA. That is you, Ms. Castillo, and then you are the alternate.
Got it.
For the FSBA State Legislative Liaison.
yeah, because that's basically what that was. We just did it for consensus. It'll be fine.
Is that clear? Do you want me to finish, or do you want to
You're
finish?
still the chair till the 20th, I think.
It turns it over then to board member comments, sir.
Okay, so we will finish the meeting. Again, thank you all for letting me be the chairman here for this year. We will finish out with board member comments. Ms. Castillo?
I have no comments, thank you.
All right. Mr.
Ricky,
Soto?
you've done a wonderful job.
Well, I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's, you have a unique style, and I really enjoy that you let your personality come into your job.
Sometimes too much.
No, it's never too much. Now, when you have a good personality like yourself, it's never too much. And I think that
Thank you, Mr. Soto.
I will say that I really enjoyed sitting over here and, just all of your antics and everything else, man.
Antic?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We enjoy ourselves, though.
Absolutely.
Mr. Thacker?
Just thank you for your leadership for the last year. Great job, appreciate it.
Mr. Weissauer?
We all love you, Ricky.
Okay, let's continue. Jessica? Now, this is your last
You're
meeting,
required
right?
to tell Ricky what a great job.
No, you did.
You did a great job, Mr. Booth.
Everybody made $20 tonight. Do you want in too?
I actually do have comments.
Please.
Last week you asked me to ask around the
I did,
school
we did.
for things that like students want to see a change in or things they have questions about. The number one thing, I told them that I shouldn't say this, but they really wanted me to, dress code.
Oh, no. Well, that is number one every time I go to a school.
Yes, the dress code. I don't think I need to explain that. It's
We
just,
get it.
They want it stricter.
Yes, stricter,
Yes.
so much stricter.
Work on that.
Knee-length skirts for all the girls and...
Gotcha.
So, something that I haven't experienced myself personally, but a lot of my friends have, is that often the staff doesn't support the students. Like, it doesn't feel that when students, they go to a teacher to ask them for something or they need help with a certain subject in particular, like, they're not willing to help the students get the help that they need to excel. And
What has your experience been? You shared many different experiences with me.
Which one? Can you think of one in particular?
The good ones.
The good ones? Well, for me, I know often, most of the time, when I speak to a teacher, they do try to help me in any way that they can. Like, they offer opportunities after school and during lunch or before school. But then I know friends who they can't stay after school and they can't go before school because they ride the bus. And so they're stuck in this in-between and the teacher's unable.
More opportunities.
Yeah.
Sure.
And a lot of students mentioned to put more trash cans around the school because there's none around, and so students are just throwing
What
things away on
about
the
some
ground.
underground trash cans? Think that would- No, that is a good. You know what? It's funny you say that because dress code always comes up, but actually I have heard at St. Cloud and Harmony both the same thing about trash cans.
And Dr.
So
Feinhardt will definitely take that back in her conversations with Mr. Phelps and the team.
Another thing that was also mentioned was the lunches. They know that's something that's from the district, and it's very hard to change. And like we know that you guys like try your best to make it as flavorful as possible.
Palatable. Hey, look, if they want to bring back turkey gravy and mashed potatoes, I'll be there.
But they were also wondering if perhaps to add like the mini water bottles to the lunches, because they understand that the milk is there for the nutrition that it brings, but then not many students like drinking milk with their lunch, or like milk with pizza isn't a very appetizing combination.
It's a lot of dairy.
Yes.
I'm with you. I'm all for adding some more beef on the menu, so always.
I've also heard that it's very difficult to make an appointment with guidance or speak to an administrator, just
Sure.
because it's very, like, the schedule and the conflicts and everything. So most students, when they want to speak to an administrator, they have to do it during passing between classes, and they usually go to Mr. Phelps, because Mr. Phelps is the one person that they know will listen to them and actually, like, do something about their concerns or answer their questions
Good.
about everything. But they'd like to have more opportunities to speak to their guidance counselor, because I know there was a problem with some of the seniors and the graduation credits, because some of the credits didn't transfer over from their previous schools.
Good.
And they were really concerned if they were going to graduate or not, or if they were on the path for graduation, and they couldn't talk to anybody because nobody was available. Another thing is the vending machines on campus. Students
Takis and Doritos.
No, well, because we have one vending machine on campus that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And so the students would like to either fix the vending machine or just take it out, because,
That's good. Oh.
yeah. Also, there has been this is something coming from both students and teachers that I've asked, a lack of consistency. So communication between the school board and the teachers and admin and the students. For example, during Spirit Week, one of our days was Disney. And Mr. Phelps said yes to onesies, but then admin said no.
To what?
Onesies.
Like, are these like rompers?
People who wear those white glasses.
I need to put my goggles
With the pajamas with the foots. Yeah. So some teachers said yes to onesies, and
For the record, Mr. Phelps wants me to point out, it's not this Mr. Phelps who.
not this Mr. Phelps, no. So it's just a communication within that, and so a lot of students got in trouble that day, and they were sent to the dean's office and into ISS because admin told them they couldn't wear onesies, but then they were told yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Would you mind emailing me those?
Yes.
So that we can. And you asked. You got more?
Yeah, I do.
How many?
3 more.
Huh?
3 more.
3. Okay.
Another thing is the lunch lines.
She did her homework.
So it's the lunch lines or just the time that we have for lunch in general, because there's a lot of students, because Toho, Pekaliga, when you go in, you see there's so many lunch lines that they have, or so many windows to serve lunch to students, but less than half of them are used during actual lunch. And so the lines they get
We do have a plan to resolve that on Friday because we're going to be adding a third lunch, which will definitely help with that problem.
That would definitely help. Yes, because that was another thing that they said. They said that if you can't open more than 2, expand lunch just a little bit because students, they only have 5 minutes to eat after waiting in that long line.
Okay, so go back and tell them that you asked and the school board answered.
Yep. Yeah, see, this is your opportunity to take all the credit.
Also, a lot of classrooms lack supplies still, and that I know that's something that has been coming on, like they've been coming steadily. I know for my physics class, we just got a lot of the supplies that we need for our unit, but we don't have any calculators like for the students to use during school. It's all the teachers providing them, and that's something that's really challenging, especially in a math class and students who can't actually go out and buy a calculator, or we need to use the graphing calculators that start at $50 and then go up from there. And then also, like my AP calculus class, we don't have textbooks yet, and so we've been printing out packets from.
I was in the AP calculus class today.
Really?
They had lots of textbooks.
Yeah. What period did you go?
I don't even know which one. We were there today, though.
I was going to say, because there's only one AP calculus class, and that's the one I'm in.
One thing is for sure, Jessica, if somebody asks you to do something, you go full on.
Oh,
so
yeah. There's one more thing. Hold on. There's one more.
You're as bad as me up here yapping and talking.
Don't quit till you're done.
Another thing is the class sizes. There's lots of classrooms that are crowded, and so students are not getting the one-on-one time or the attention that they need from a teacher to help them understand the curriculum correctly. And so I know Avid has been helping students with this thing that we do called tutorials, and we've been like communicating with the teachers to help them, but then a lot of students who don't have Avid are unable to take advantage of that opportunity. And so I know a lot of students are struggling because there's 30 kids in their classroom and then only one teacher, and that one teacher is worried about too many students at one time.
So overall, tell us how you feel about Toho High School, Jessica.
I actually like it. I was surprised.
Good.
I liked it.
That's great.
I thought it was interesting. You took off the item we were talking about earlier, that they had concerns with the District 5 school board member. Wasn't that the one that we were talking about earlier?
Yes, it was, but I figured it's his last day as chairman, so.
Thank you very much for serving. Thank you very much for, we asked and you delivered. So thank you for bringing that forward.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Dr. Pace?
Good.
Oh. Board, anything else? We stand adjourned.